Welcome to Happy Fun Time Sports. You give us 20 minutes, and we will give you the world of the Dodgers. I'm Kevin.
Literally the world.
Literally the world.
I'm FRG, and this is, I guess, our second pilot in a way.
Yes. This is our second video episode. We're going to try and make it a little bit cooler this time.
Call it the good one. This is the good one.
This is a good one. This is take two.
Crossing our fingers.
Not awful. So, real quick to start off, as you can tell, FRG and I like to eat. Him more so than I do. But when we want something local and amazing, we go to Auntie's Cafe in Uptown Whittier. For me, the chicken and waffles are like the best damned experience I've ever had. And that includes when I eventually catch Kenley Jansen's shocking walk-off home run in Game 7 of next year's World Series.
Oh, that's you know what? You heard it here first.
Yes.
You heard it here first.
You have a favorite sandwich there over at Auntie's?
Anything with chicken, I'm good.
All right.
Yeah.
Big on chicken.
Yeah.
But they have other stuff.
Because, I'm big into health.
Yeah, you're a pinnacle.
Health nut.
Consummate athlete,
Health
too.
nut.
Consummate athlete.
Years of golf and slow pitch softball, obviously.
Absolutely. All right, so let's get started. Big news. Darvish has finally signed a contract with the Cubs.
Wait, I got one for us. That's
yeah. How do you feel about this one?
Yeah, it's one of those things. Is it the wah-wah? Is it a sad trombone, or is it? There's a lot of fans who aren't too happy about Game 7 still, and they're happy to see him go. I mean, I'm somebody we needed that rotational depth. Absolutely, you had that's a bona fide number 2, at the very least. I guess, well, he's still going to be a 2 in Chicago. I mean, he's a damn good pitcher, and he got paid definitely less than you would have expected for market value at a $21 million a year. It averages out to. He got the 6th year. For those who don't know, if you've been living under a rock, 6 year, $126 million contract, and that's not too bad.
No, that's not too bad, but they definitely overpaid for him. And here's my thing is I kind of disagree, where I get that he would add some rotational depth. But my issue is that we already have guys like Walker Buehler. We have Julio Urias. We have, we've got Stewart. We've got Wilmer Font. We've got guys who are going to be really good. They're really young. They're coming up right now. And I think this is the time where we want to really bring them in rather than spending, 6 years and a whole lot of money on an aging Darvish who just completely crapped the bed in the World Series. And I will never forgive him for that.
Twice shat bed.
The number on that was 9 runs in in 10 outs. Yeah, that's what he did.
That pays
in
you
the World Series.
$21 million a year.
I could do that.
You know what? I'm going to sign you. Significantly less. I'll give you maybe 3 cheeseburgers.
I'll take the 3 cheeseburgers.
Yeah, there's a really good deal going on at Carl's Jr. right now. So not sponsored by Carl's Jr., but we're always ready and willing.
we're ready for you, Carl's Jr. or Hardee's, wherever you are.
But yeah, digging more into the Darvish contract. I mean, there's one of the big things that nowadays everybody wants an opt out. Everybody wants their no trade, and of course that average annual value. That's the big thing. That when you're looking at the whole payroll for the year, that's the big one that you can't backload contracts anymore. And I think we spoke about it a bit last time, but
the Frank McCourt special.
Yeah, the Ned Colletti special right here. So we have the incentive. So he gets $2 million, an extra $2 million for each Cy Young he'll win, and $1 million for top 5 finish, which is not too bad. But the NL is definitely that'll be kind of tough for him to get. Or I don't know, tough. He has competition in his own rotation with John Lester.
True.
The opt out in 2 years.
Molester.
In 2 years, I guess 2 full seasons. 2019, he has an opt out. I don't know what the market's going to look like then, but That's always good to get it by 2-3 years in. And the no trade language, it hasn't been officially thrown out there, but it's full no trade. I'm assuming through at least the opt out, and then afterwards it's a 12-team list that I'm sure he built together or whatever. I don't know how that works.
Okay.
Hashtag not an agent. You're the agent here.
I am the agent. Not really an agent. So there was a Dodger Nation poll on Twitter. And that was regarding, are you sad to see him leave? Essentially, what were the numbers on that one?
I think most outlets you're seeing it's pretty split right now. People after the signing, a lot more people. The poll was out before he had signed, so people are going to be a little bit more open to him coming back home, if you will.
Yeah.
But after that, of course, lover spurned or whatever, lover scorned.
We didn't need him anyways.
Yeah.
That happened actually.
He's a bum.
I remember that a couple years ago with Zach Greinke. It was we need him back, and then it was we don't need him. We've got Kershaw. That was too much money. Yeah, he's a bum. He's just gonna suck from now on. All of that kind of stuff. All right. So what does that mean? What does that mean for LA in regards to in-house options or a backup plan?
Yeah, the backup plan really. I mean, you already touched on it there. You have Walker Buehler. He's 24, entering his age 25 season.
Lots of talent.
This is his year to pick up innings because he's old enough. He's already mature enough body-wise to get somewhere in his major league career. So now's his time. Look, and they're going to afford him every opportunity in spring training to win a rotation spot because there's talent, but there's definitely question marks. You have Kershaw, Hill, and then Wood. Rich Hill hasn't pitched. I think it's more than 137 innings since 2011. So it's a long time to expect a lot.
Although he's only got 4 years of full-time major league experience under his belt, despite the fact that he's 60.
Pretty much. And then, you could say kind of the same thing about Wood, but much younger Wood.
Yes. Giggity.
Giggity. He put together, he's always been good, but he's had health concerns, and he's also had just performance concerns or whatever with it's a herky-jerky, as Vin would say, all elbows and kneecaps coming at you in a way.
Yeah.
That if I was teaching my kid to play the sports, absolutely.
Yes.
That's not what you do. Do not do that.
Because you'll end up with a Tim Lincecum where you have a couple of great years if you have a lot of talent, but you end up going to retirement pretty quickly.
Wait, tell me, he's making his, I think this is his Mark Pryor tying, what do they call right now? The showcase. He has another showcase coming up, I think, on Thursday. Dodgers will be there.
With the Hiroshima Carp?
He's working out a driveline baseball now, so he's got all of the exit velos and all the newfangled things that the kids are into that they're teaching in kindergarten. Spin rate.
Yes, absolutely.
You gotta love you some spin rate.
Kindergartners and 5-year-olds love spin rate. They're big on talking about spin rate. So here's the other big question, and this is kind of the elephant in the room. I'm not talking about you. This, I love you. This is the elephant in the room, essentially. Jake Arrieta. So what happens there with Jake Arrieta? Is that someone the Dodgers are going to pursue, or is he going to also be too expensive?
Well, that was one of the big things. I'm very frequent on the MLB trade rumors website. I'll look at Twitter.
Oh, I love that website.
Twitter's a great spot to find out the latest breaking things in almost any sports.
Yeah. And Dodger Blues is great too.
Dodger Blues basically retired. Dodger Nation.
I'm sorry, Dodger Nation.
They're on.
Dodger Blues is good for the Twitter when you want a humorous slant on things.
Oh, I miss Dodger Blues. Those are the good old days. You got some great blogs out there now too.
Yeah.
But
that guy was so angry though. It was hilarious. He was so mad all the time. He was my kind of fan. It was just any time they did something wrong, he wanted everybody traded, he wanted everybody fired. He was positive we're never going to win another World Series. All of his childhood memories were just disappointment, Joe Morgan, it was a great website.
Yeah, but getting back into Arrieta, like I'm kind of surprised you really haven't seen much of a market or at least any whispers about it. People aren't looking at Jake Arrieta as a viable option. It really looks like even the Chicago Cubs didn't look at Jake Arrieta as a viable option. And I was reading a tweet about that, how if the team that you're coming from, you have a long tenure of success with them. If they're not really trying to bring you back, that's got to be kind of indicative of where you're at, either as a clubhouse guy or maybe your health. You don't know if he's breaking down, because again, that's another. I mean, he's
32 years old.
He's older. He throws over the body. He has that crossfire action going. So
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of pressure on the elbow, whatever shoulder. I mean, there's a lot of problems. But yeah, I mean, you have Arrieta as a guy that's still out there. Of course, he has the qualifying offer attached to him. You have somebody else like Alex Cobb. That's another one of the big free agents. He's going for a lot of money, but he's another one. I mean, you see a little bit more stir for him. I don't see him in LA. I really don't see anybody with a qualifying offer in LA.
Yeah, I don't either. I mean, and that's been the thing this year, is the Dodgers front office is big on keeping payroll down. And I don't see them spending big on anything. The only real scenario where I see it is a trade somewhere near the trade deadline, if Matt Kemp has made himself into a serviceable hitter, at least. I know he's lost a lot of weight going into the offseason, but I mean, that could mean anything. Those hips aren't. I mean, it's great, for the hips, because it's putting less.
Yeah.
Those hips don't lie.
They might be lying.
He's putting less strain on those hips, which is great. But he needs to show that he can hit at a consistent level and not be a clubhouse distraction. And at that point, the Dodgers can actually move him to a potential contender.
Well, I mean, unless he's coming up, with big hits off the bench or whatever he's going to be doing, that's going to be another big question for Dave Roberts. He's got a lot to sort through in that outfield. He's got a healthy Andrew Tolles and all that, but that trade deadline, that's one of the big reasons why we've tried to keep so low under that payroll.
Yeah.
What is it?
197.
The tax threshold. There it is.
Yeah.
Because you do want to be able to add to your team come trade deadline, and if you don't have the money available, you can't really do much, and that's when you could really address it and assess your team at that point.
Absolutely.
Another guy I'm looking at as maybe as I can see him as a decent enough option, and I think it's a good career move for him, is Andrew Cashner, who had he had a good year.
He also had a qualifying offer attached to him.
He did not.
He? Oh,
Cashner does
okay.
not. Cashner does not. He had a good year last year. His first really good year. He had let's look at stats here. We got 4.6 wins above replacement, which is really good for a pitcher. He went 11-11, but also that does kind of make up for more than half of his 8.7 career WAR in 8 seasons. So, a
little tougher.
Yeah, he went into the offseason looking for I think it was a 3-year deal, and homie, you ain't getting that right now. So come to LA, let Rick Honeycutt fix you, and maybe get paid next season.
Yeah.
That would be nice for you, right?
1-year deal.
Yeah, we like getting paid.
And if you can't handle the starting job, you can always go to the bullpen and be this year's Brendan Morrow.
I'll take it.
I will too.
I will take it. One last guy on the free agent market, the big name, Lance Lynn, who I think is a really underrated pitcher, but unfortunately doesn't have, or he has that qualifying offer attached to him, which again rules him out for a lot of the big markets right now, because everybody's trying to draft from within.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
It looks like we're gonna really need to air quote here, settle in a way. We have Bueller, he's pretty much ready. Urias should be good by the trade deadline or so.
Yeah,
and
maybe even before that. Actually, from what I hear, he's really advancing.
I think it's late May thereabout.
Okay,
he could be big league ready.
Awesome,
but he's not going to be super built up at that point. So don't expect the 7-inning outing out of him, even though he's not really that guy. He hasn't proven to be that guy. Wilmer Font is, I know, a name that you've been kind of high on in the past. And
I'm a big fan of Wilmer Font. I think he's got all the talent in the world. And granted, he's a little bit older.
Said so few people in their lives.
No, you're thinking of Wilmer Valderrama. That's a little different. I
was actually thinking of Wilma from the Flintstones.
Oh, yes. Oh,
yeah,
Wilma, I love you.
She was kind of mean. But my sleeper for that I'd say that sixth spot in the rotation in a way. I'm looking for a lot out of Brock this season. Brock Stewart, give me 12 wins. Give me 12 wins. That's what I want.
I like it. Let's do a little throwback Thursday. I think that's
I don't have any music
pretty
prepared.
sexy. That's okay.
I'm gonna do it. Hey.
Anyways,
Putting in post-production.
Post-production. So on this day, we're going to go all the way back to 2017. And on this day in 2017, Yasiel Puig still had an agent. What the hell happened? I mean, he was fired by the Wasserman agency. They didn't specify anything. They just said behavioral issue. And so to me, behavioral issue means maybe drunk driving, or knowing Yasiel Puig, maybe he had sex with the agent's wife. That's what I would guess.
That's my money. That's where my money is.
Yasiel, keep doing what you're doing.
Do we call that the Lord's work?
Like, I think we do. Well, I don't know. Maybe not. When the time comes, I mentioned earlier that that future Kenley Jansen walk-off home run that I'm very excited about next year in Game 7 of the World Series. And we're celebrating that insane Dodgers victory in their first championship in 30 years. We want to make sure that we have something sweet, delicious, and freshly made on hand to keep us kind of hyped up, which is why FRG and I always head to 85 Degrees Bakery for something delicious. And my personal favorite, the amazing sea salt coffee, which is just delicious. They have 23 locations in the LA area, so there's likely one near you. You're a big 85 Degrees fan, right?
Actually, tonight was the first time I tried that drink. Thanks to Mr. Kevin here, and I enjoyed it, as you can see, because I'm plenty empty and I'm hyped up.
Yes, we're very excited right now.
I'm hyped for Andrew Kashner out of the bullpen for a whole lot of money.
Yes, Kashner.
And 85 degrees after this, right? We're just staying up all night?
Absolutely.
Right,
we are not sleeping tonight.
Stats all night.
All
baby.
night
That's what
long.
I'm talking about. The other big exciting thing that happened real quick before I get into the next real segment, Chase Utley, to no one's surprise, re-signed with L.A.
12-year deal, $600 million.
Mm-hmm. He actually signed on to be the new Tommy Lasorda.
I like it.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and give...
So he's going to be 300 years old at the conclusion of this contract.
Chase Utley he gets my bell of approval, and welcome back, Pop Chase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what is this? So Chase Utley, he signed for 2 years. What's the money?
That's a surprise, and I haven't seen the money yet. It's probably been announced since we have started doing all this, but I can't imagine it being for a lot. It's something where I could really see him not even making the team out of spring. It could be one of those things where...
Is it a two-way contract?
It's... No. Well, a lot of the language hasn't happened. It was one of those things where everybody knew it was going to happen. But somebody had pointed out that on the Twitter that I had saw, and that's what I had pointed out. He's not going anywhere when it comes to leaving L.A., but also he's not signing anywhere until Darvish signed somewhere, because Dodgers needed that money. Even the $1-2 million, whatever it is, that makes a big difference in trying to get a premium pitcher.
Absolutely.
For spring training, which starts today.
Yes.
Pitchers and catchers report. So we say once again, thank you, or at least the fans do here. Thank you. Okay, enough, fans. Spring training is here. Pitchers and catchers report, and Matt Kemp reported today. The sting of Game 7 can now start to maybe kind of subside, especially for someone like you.
I don't know. I feel like it brings up those memories again. As soon as I see the Dodgers come out, it's like, oh, God, that hurts.
I think I'm more hurt from, what is it, Game 4, Game 5, the home run contest, basically. The Kershaw was cruising. I forget what game. I try to just... You block out the bad things. Block out bad things, kids. It's not worth your time.
That's the way to deal with life. Block it out.
But yeah, the PECOTA. I'm sure you're well versed in PECOTA.
I am.
It's part of
love me some PECOTA.
Baseball prospectus. Or
you
baseball
pour it on your steak. Am I right?
Yes.
It's a delicious seasoning.
It's a PECOTA steak. They call it. They serve that at 85 degrees. No,
I don't think so. Although the steak tells you how many wins your team is going to get that year.
So, PECOTA, which stands for Player Empirical Comparison and Optimization Test Algorithm. So, of course, PECOTA is much easier. Has the Dodgers forecast to win 99 games.
See, I like that.
Step your game up. You're losing 5 more games this year.
Here's the thing: they didn't make enough moves in the offseason, I think, to repeat that level of success that they had last year, especially considering that insane run that they went on. However, I think 99 wins for this team is huge, and it's attainable. It's going to mean that they're going to have probably the top spot in the NL again, so they'll have home field advantage.
Yeah, so actually, I can guarantee you, per PECOTA, that yes, the Dodgers will have the top spot in the NL because they are the only 90-plus win team per PECOTA.
Interesting.
Yeah, we have so top four here. We have Houston Astros and Dodgers each with 99 wins, so we have a repeat apparently of last season. Cleveland Indians at 97 and the Yankees with 96, and those are the only four in all of baseball with 90-plus wins.
Yeah, I feel like it's really concentrated right now at the top of the food chain, essentially, in baseball. That's where all the talent and all the money is, and everybody else is just kind of fighting for the scraps.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, and that's been this whole big thing with the offseason being so or the free agent market being so weak, or so slow, I should say, because the free agent market's actually really strong, but people don't want to sign, or they're not getting the money, or teams are trying to tank it. But one thing I do really like about this is they say Anaheim is going to win 80 games, even with the Ohtani addition.
Wow.
So that's huge.
Suck it, Anaheim.
But quickly, so we have, I'd say let's just quickly kind of breeze through the NL West.
Lightning round. NL West edition.
And I'll read from my stats here that I do have, which helps. So at the bottom, of course, we have San Diego coming in at a whopping 73
Wow.
wins.
They really are a whopping.
Apparently, I'm taking the over. They're trying desperately to sign Eric Hosmer, who isn't really going to help them get 20 wins.
Absolutely not.
Basically a non-factor in the division. Of course, that means they're going to split the season series with LA because that's just what happens every time.
Or win it.
I'm going to go ahead and take the under on that. What do you got?
I'm actually going to take the over. So and I think San Diego is a very talented young team, and I think they overachieved last year. So I think they're going to build on that this year. I say 76 wins.
76. All right. It's on the driver's side.
It is. It's also very patriotic.
Fourth place, not necessarily surprising, is Colorado. But what is surprising is that PECOTA has them under 500 at 78 wins. Sure, they lost a surprisingly young old because he's only 32, Carlos Gonzalez.
Yeah.
But I don't see how they think he's going to make that big of a difference.
I don't see that drop off. I think they win somewhere in the 80s and that they're a factor in the division.
Yeah, I'm giving them the over on that too.
Mm-hmm.
San Fran steps this game up a whole bunch, technically.
I mean, you can't go any further than the Giants went last year. You can't go when you're in the basement. I mean, what are you gonna? You're just gonna dig underneath the house at that point. I mean, you can't go any lower than that. So
you can start digging, I guess, straight into China. Not down to, but into. Yeah, so they have them listed at 84 wins. Does PECOTA? I say that's kind of reasonable.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, I'd probably go with the under. I don't think that they added enough, and I think that they're such an injury-plagued team that they're going to end up with 70-something wins.
Seems fair enough. We'll take it too because
I'll take it because I hate the Giants absolutely.
And also apparently, Andrew McCutchen doesn't like us.
I saw that. We're going to have to delve into that the next episode.
Next time. And, of course, last on LA's coattails, Arizona. Surprise! I think it's kind of low saying 86 wins. Of course, they lost J.D. Martinez, who was a huge get that we've talked about a little bit before. He does remain unsigned. He's pissed at Boston, though, apparently, who's been his biggest suitor all this offseason. So
to be fair, all of us are pissed at Boston.
So he's trying to come back. He's trying to rekindle that love in a way. We'll see.
I like it.
But the important thing is Dodgers are winning 99 games and y'all ain't, so suck it.
I'm in with that. All right, let's go one last note. So I did some research, as I am wont to do, and I came up with a list of 8 sports that should be at the Winter Olympics, and this is via the website independent.ie. So the first fine website. First one is ski ballet. So here's the thing. Have you ever looked at a ballet dancer and thought, this would be so much better on skis. Because if you have, ski ballet is for you. So it rose to fame in the 1970s.
Wait, this is a real thing?
This is a real thing. This isn't things that are made up. These are all real things, just FYI. It's not too popular anymore, but that's something that if we can get a good riding campaign, that's something we can absolutely try and get in the Winter Olympics for next time. There's also dog sled racing, because obviously... I mean, who doesn't want that?
You gotta have dog sled racing.
Absolutely, we need some Alaskans on our winter sports team. Ski joring. So here's the thing: if you've ever said, I really like skiing, but it doesn't have enough farm animals, ski joring is for you.
And for Dwight Schrute.
Yeah, it's for Dwight Schrute. R.I.P. This sport is where a person on skis is pulled by an animal, generally a horse, cow, or dog. So this is that's a very interesting one that I would love to see.
I've got the over on the cows.
I like that. I like the over on the cows there. There's also shovel racing, which is exactly what it sounds like. Shovel racing is where riders race down snow hills on a large shovel.
Oh my God, put that in over curling, please.
Yeah.
Why is curling a thing still?
Curling is incredibly boring, and
Thanks,
I want to
Obama.
see shovel racing because there is a high propensity of tree crashes, apparently, in that sport.
Rest in peace, Sonny Bono.
Yeah. Too soon, man.
Too soon.
There's also something called yukigassen. So this is a Japanese sport where two teams throw ready-made snowballs at each other. And the object of the game is to snatch a flag without getting hit because, of course, it's Japan. And that's what they do. So it's crazy effing game.
It's dodge snowball fight.
It is. Yes. It's dodge.
I want to do this.
Yes.
I'm dedicating my life now. I'm going to become the greatest yukigassen player ever.
If anybody wants to join our Happy Fun Time Sports yukigassen team, let us know. Send us an email at happyfuntimesports@gmail.com.
Yeah, put it in the comments below.
There's also polar bear swimming, where people jump into freezing water and try to swim 250 feet without dying. There is bandy, not to be confused with brandy. Bandy is a team winter sport. It's similar to ice hockey, but it's played with a ball instead. And it's the world's second most popular winter sport, which says a lot about the world, I think. And then you have, finally, snow kayaking. Unlike kayaking on water, what the riders do is they descend on steep snow slopes, like really steep snow slopes. So they also have the risk of running into trees or rocks, or just going off a cliff entirely, which is hilarious.
Or one of those polar bears from the polar bear swimming.
I want to see that too. I'd like to combine the two: snow, kayak, polar bear swimming.
I'm gonna pull. Everybody. Let's make a GoFundMe. We're gonna bring back there's gonna be a better Winter Olympics.
Yes.
And it's gonna be all of these games.
The Happy Fun Time Sports Winter Olympics.
That and some sort of competitive Wii Sports game.
I like that.
Yeah. So I think that should definitely be a thing. So if anybody can do it, it's a group with the reach that we have.
Agreed.
So that's been this show.
Thanks for tuning in.
Of course, you can always find us on Facebook. We're on Facebook.com/HappyFunTimeSports, HFT Sports.
HFT Sports.
Or you can just search us literally anywhere, Happy Fun Time Sports. Have you heard of
We're the only thing.
Ask Jeeves. Try it. Instagram, HFT Sports. Twitter, HFT Sports. I'm Real FRG. That is Kevin. Oh, sorry, your Kev is your friend now.
On Twitter and on the Instagram, I'm Kevin is your friend.
Fix it.
Never.
Just stop. Subscribe on the iTunes or on the Podbean or on the Stitcher Radio for when we have our regular podcast as well. Send us questions via any of those social media handles I said, or email us at happyfuntimesports@gmail.com. And of course, go read Dodgers Nation because they're on top of it. This is their time to shine.
Absolutely.
So I am Real FRG, and that's Kevin. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.